It appears gamers cannot catch a break this week with the Xbox layoffs and now the devastating news that the Subnautica 2 leadership team has been replaced. This video is both easy and hard to make because, put in simple terms, we have Krafton, who is the publisher of Subnautica 2. They were not the publisher of Subnautica 1. Made the decision to replace the Subnautica 2 leadership team. That would be Ted Gill, Charlie Cleveland, and Max McGuire. And this is effective immediately. Krafton is claiming they try to keep the leadership team involved, but I have a hard time believing that because they say stuff like this because they have to. They don't want to go out of their way and explain to us the intricate details of why they got rid of the leadership team. Because in all honesty, it's probably messy and it probably makes them look bad. While Krafton sought to keep the Unknown World co-founders and original creators of the Subnautica series involved in the game's development, the company wishes them well on their next endeavors. This is what I mean. You have to read in between those lines. What they're essentially saying is that no matter what, the leadership team was not going to be the leadership team. They were going to keep them involved in a lower role, but they were not going to have the same power that they used to have. This new CEO was going to be taking over and having all that power now. So who is this CEO that is replacing the leadership team? Well, the guy's name is Steve Papoutsis. Hopefully I'm saying that right. The guy is a gaming industry veteran. He is now the CEO of Unknown Worlds, where he'll oversee the studio's overall management and creative direction. From what I have gathered, he has worked on Dead Space 1 and 2 and 3. He also worked on the flopped game Callisto Protocol, which has fans really worried about his new appointment to this position. Now, don't get me wrong, just because he worked on a game that didn't turn out to be a massive success doesn't mean that he's going to suddenly join Unknown Worlds and bring down Subnautica 2. You know, that doesn't necessarily correlate. But that isn't something to ignore because it is relevant enough to bring up. Now, I would read you his first statement, but it's not really that important. It's just corporal speak about how he's taking over the new role. Like I said, this is both easy and hard to cover because we have new information coming out every second. And right now I'm on Reddit. I'll read you what I'm looking at. Updates from Subnautica Discord mod. Early access will release this year. No crunching needed. Everything is on track for a 2025 release without rushing. I find that part hard to believe. I'm gonna read you another guy's response to this particular mod because he has more details on her. I don't know if all of this is true, but first, I want to go over more stuff from the Krafton press release. I have a hard time believing that this will not be a rushed out product. Given that it's early access, that gives them the perfect shield for releasing a underbaked product because it's, guess what, early access. But beyond that, if we parse through the press release, we get more details on how this probably is going to be somewhat rushed. We are players nothing less than the best possible game as soon as possible. They also say, as part of its oversight, Krafton is committed to achieving regular milestones. These reviews will help ensure that games meet both creative and quality standards. This process is essential to delivering the right game at the right time. Unknown Worlds' new leadership fully supports this process and is committed to meeting players' expectations. And this might be one of the main friction points that led to Krafton slamming the hammer down and getting rid of the leadership team because they wanted the product to be delivered on a faster schedule. The reason why I think this is probably the main reason is because it doesn't seem like this is culture war shenanigans or anything like any bad morals or anything like that. This seems to be more about shipping a game out. And the reason I think that is because if you look at the press release, they're not going out of their way to be mean to them. If anything, they're being somewhat friendly. They're saying that they wish them well and stuff like that. So I don't think they're outright ending on terrible terms where somebody did something horrible that is, unthinkable. It doesn't seem to be something like that. So if I'm correct that this game is ultimately going to be rushed out the door because it's early access and they got the shield of that and that the publisher wants the game to come out sooner, they're replacing the leadership team with a new CEO. It's terrifying because yes, it's early access, but holy shit, we have standards. And before I go back to that response by the mod on Discord, let's go ahead and read the most up-to-date press release from Unknown Worlds themselves. One final thing we want to address, as we've seen some additional concerns about it. Nothing has changed with how the game is structured. It will remain a single player first experience with optional co-op multiplayer. No subscriptions, no loot boxes, no battle passes, no microtransactions. So there you go, nothing's terrifying anymore. Everything's cleared up from that one statement, right? Yeah, but like that's not enough, bro. Like I'm telling you that like that's what they have to say. Would they say anything else? That is what you're supposed to say. Like I expect them to say this. And people do think that this is a good response. This is pretty good reinsurance, to be honest. It's good to hear from the devs that they figured they are in a reasonably comfortable place rather than offering a more cagey response. Another dev team I've been following has a similar relationship to their publisher, so I can say it seems unlikely that Krafton will interfere lower on the ladder. We'll have to see, of course. I don't trust Krafton for a second, and I want more info about the situation, but I'm cautiously optimistic about it not being time for doomerism. Some people are skeptical. I'm skeptical of anything that Unknown Worlds says now. The devs have an incentive to hype up the game. Their jobs literally depend on it. I'll check out honest reviews when the game is out, and if it seems good, I'll buy it. This next response is the one I was referring to earlier about the guy who had dealt with this server mod before. Don't trust this moderator, Pebble203 from Unknown Worlds. I have encountered her on the Discord server before, and let's just say, you will get banned if you say anything critical regarding corporate business strategies. For example, she thinks that console exclusives have nothing to do with the company trying to make more profit through deals with companies selling the consoles, and she will manipulate discussions in a way that suppresses views that oppose her. Krafton doesn't impact the development either. Unknown Worlds is an independent studio. If you truly believe this corporate PR statement saying that Unknown Worlds is independent from Krafton after they just fired the Unknown Worlds CEO and founders who made Subnautica 1, you are truly beyond saving. The new CEO, Steve Papoutsis, had major influence on development of the Callisto protocol and got the job from the old CEO, who was pushed out as well for allegedly pushing devs to crunch 7 days a week for the game to get it out as fast as possible. After that, the studio, Striking Distance Studios, was demolished and further game development abandoned to squeeze maximum profit out of the game. He did the same with Visceral Game Studio, EA DICE, in 2015 when they produced Battlefield Hardline. You could say that he specialized in that niche CEO function. Kill squeezing. This is likely Papoutsis' job as well now. He's going to push the Subnautica 2 devs to rush the game out, and then the studio will be made defunct. They will squeeze out every penny from the fanbase and then scoot. Papoutsis is the Judas goat for Unknown Worlds. He'll act like everything will be fine if they follow his lead because he knows he will survive and be rewarded. But he will actually just snooze the devs to lead them to the slaughter. They don't swap CEOs for no reason. Her, Pebble's, job and role in this theater is to downplay the whole situation with PR statements. Man, this is a disastrous situation. I cannot believe that this is happening to Subnautica 2. Or maybe I can, because of all the shit that's been going on. Look, this game is in a gray area right now because, you know, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but you're not at the bottom of the ocean getting attacked by a Leviathan. There could be worse things, like the studio is shutting down right now and we're never going to get Subnautica 2 ever. Like, that could be a reality. But fortunately, that reality is not what we are facing today. There are going to be new opportunities that we wouldn't have had with the original creators. That is a positive outlook. There might be cool things that you and me are going to like, but there's also going to be things that we probably don't want in the game, like microtransactions, but luckily that was ruled out. Sure, they can promise us this, but like, I mean, how many times have we had promises broken by devs in the past? Many times. There's countless examples of that. But I choose to believe them right now because why not? If they lie, they won't get my money. And trust me, this new leadership will do things that will be different from what they originally intended. For example, in the past with the original team, they wanted DNA upgrades in the first game. A commenter on one of my other Subnautica videos let me know that, hey, DNA upgrades were actually a thing in Subnautica 1. But hey, let me know what you think. Did this kill your hype? Are you nervous? Are you happy? I mean, that's a possibility. Are you happy about this change? And if you're happy about it, please let me know. I would like some optimism on this situation. Do you agree with any of the Redditors' comments that I posted on screen? Overall, just let me know what you think. That's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. If you want to support me further, please head over to Twitch and give me a follow over there. Otherwise, just subscribe. My name is CozmicSaber, and I'll talk to you later.